to Petite to Queens Claim Your Career Crown podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck, the Joyful Sales Queen. And today I'm joined by our wonderful guest, Joyce Jonashet. And today we're going to be talking about getting help with Medicare, who qualifies, and when to enroll. And, this is actually a really important topic because I myself have worked with Joyce, full disclosure, for my mom. And navigating the Medicare labyrinth is daunting. I mean, I felt like I was opening Pandora's box and I just slammed the lid shut. So, understanding who qualifies for Medicare and when to enroll is the a great place to start. And I want to remind you, if you love the show and you really enjoy this episode, please subscribe. We always love having you be a part of our family and community. So, Joyce saves people from spending hundreds of hours attempting to secure the best medical coverage. And that's absolutely the truth. I know she saved me hundreds of hours. Adult children hire her to protect their parents' health and finances because most are overwhelmed by the chaos, confusion, and complexity of the Medicare market. And I'm just telling you, sister, I was there. So, we always want to give our parents the best, right? They gave us the best. And so should their health insurance. So Joyce helps navigate the labyrinth of insurance options with honesty, integrity, and clarity. And if the best health coverage while lowering premiums for your parents or for yourself is something that interests you, Joyce can help you. So, Joyce, thank you so much for being here. I'm thrilled to have you on the show and showcase and celebrate you today.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. And I've so enjoyed working with you. It's great to be here and just love to connect with your guests and your subscribers. So thank you so much for having me.
So, I have to ask you because, where did, I've known you for quite a while. So, but I don't know your origin story of how you got started helping people navigate Medicare and Medicare supplemental plans.
Yeah, so I've been in insurance for quite a few years. Gosh, maybe about 25 years, mostly working with farmers insurance. So I did, of course, auto and home and some life. And then I actually had to switch because I actually had to close that because my parents weren't doing well. So my mom fell and broke her hip. My dad started exhibiting signs of dementia. And so we moved to take care of them. So we're actually in their home. They've passed away now, but we were their full time caregivers. And as you know, Farmers does not have a health product. So I didn't know anything about Medicare. So I was lost, just like you, trying to figure it out. Fortunately, I had a good friend that sold Medicare. And so she helped us figure it out, find a really good plan for my parents. And then as they passed away, I went back to work for Farmers again. And she kept saying, why don't you do Medicare on the side? And I was like, well, no, it's okay. Then I got laid off from there. So I said, okay, to my friend, let's do this thing. So I already had all the licenses I needed, and she helped me get certified for different insurance companies with Medicare. And she explained things so well. I got on the job training. I sat in her office as her assistant for 2 years, hearing her talk to agents, asking questions, hearing her talk to clients. So by that time, I was like, okay, I got it. And so I started teaching at a local community college. And so I hold monthly classes and I can help you figure it out. So I can explain it.
Yeah. And I love this whole transition, especially that opportunity to really be mentored by someone and learn all the ropes from someone who is already doing it and doing it really well, and that she encouraged you to take this leap.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, is making that decision, finding a great mentor, finding a great community that can move you forward. And also really truly believing in the product or service um, and how you serve and help people. So
Mhm.
I'm that is such a great background, Joy. Now I know. I never knew that. So
Yeah, I never had a chance to share. So
I
yeah, this
guess
is great.
not. So, you know, I know from my own personal experience, but I'd love to have you tell people, and I may add on to the end, but why is navigating Medicare and those supplemental plans so difficult for so many people?
Well, there's so many different rules, and compliance is huge with Medicare. So, personally, even for me, I can't make outbound calls. I can't call you and say, "Hey, would you like to look at a Medicare plan?" I can't do that.
Yeah.
So, I can only work with referrals, right? Or other ways that people would contact me first. But really, every year I actually go through a little class. It's called the AHIB, and I have to learn all the new Medicare rules for the coming year. So there's changes all the time. So that is a huge reason right there why people have a hard time figuring out what Medicare is, because it is different. So we
Yeah.
have our basic rules, but there's always nuances. So, yeah.
Well, and it's not just the Medicare, but it's also the plans are changing all the time. And I think
Yes.
that for me, my own personal experience was really getting that help from you, an expert, to navigate the labyrinth that is the Medicare. I'm calling them supplemental plans. I know there's a lot of different terms, but basically adding that extra coverage.
Hmm.
So, for example, my mother just had cochlear implant surgery, and because of that hearing loss that she has, Medicare covered it, but also her health plan that you helped me put into that supplemental, she did not have a single payment she had to make. Nothing. She
Yeah.
paid nothing.
Yeah.
And this is like,
Awesome.
six-figure surgery, right?
Hmm.
So, how do you help people? I know how you helped me, but I'd love you to describe how you really work with them to navigate this whole system.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We take the time to find out what our clients are needing for their health insurance, because everyone is different. And what's really nice is that Medicare health plans are individual, there's no group plans in Medicare. So, what we do is very personalized. We customize our search, first of all, to see what your medications are, because that's usually the biggest driver, right? Is how much do my medications cost? Now, some people just have generics, but some people have a big list. So we look to see what plans for the coming year are going to provide for you the best bang for your buck, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we look at your doctors. What doctors do you have? And some plans, it's very important that we know who your doctor is and what they take. Other plans, it's not. And you can see any doctor. So we look at that. We look at your budget. So your health needs, all the different variables, we look at all of that and we put that into our software, and we come up with 3 or 4 options that are going to work the best for you. So I'm not going to show you like 10, 15 things, right? That's just too much. So we're going to look at really the best ones that are going to make the most sense for you and are going to keep you moving towards your health goals. And don't be surprised if you're married that your spouse has a totally different plan, because they probably have different health needs, right?
Yeah.
So it's very customized.
Yeah. Well, I love that. And that's really where those hundreds of hours, like I said, it was for me that experience of my mom
Mhm.
wanted me to look into it after my father had passed because he sort of did that work. And I mean, he spent hours and hours and hours. And I took one look and I started and I went, no. And it was like slamming the lid of Pandora's box down. And then luckily I met you the next year. So I was able to work with you.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this is just my personal experience, but with my mom, the most important thing to me was the coverage and the quality of healthcare
Hmm. Yeah.
because my dad had gone through a lot of things with his congestive heart failure. Um, and my late husband had passed from cancer. So it was so important to me that she had the very best coverage. And yet, by working with Joyce, we saved my mom $1,200 a year. And, on a budget, that's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I gave her a lot of additional financial freedom every month.
Hmm.
So when we're looking at Medicare as a whole, who qualifies for Medicare? How does that work?
Yeah. So most folks can have Medicare when they turn 65, right? So you can get Social Security earlier, but only 65 is when you traditionally will be able to get Medicare. Although there are a few folks that can get it early. So there's three different main reasons why you could get Medicare early. One is if you get ALS, so or Lou Gehrig's disease, right? Or if you have end-stage renal disease requiring a dialysis or transplant, those you automatically can get Medicare right away. And then there are those who have disabilities. So, and there's two kinds. The one that you can get Medicare is the SSDI, Social Security Disability Income. And usually that's because you were injured on the job, right? So you have work history that you can draw from for the income. There's other reasons as well. That's the main one. But you have to wait 2 years. So once you have SSDI for 2 years, the 25th month, you're automatically enrolled in Medicare.
Oh,
Mhm.
all right. So then it sounds like there's some automatic pieces, but what in general is when does can someone enroll in Medicare? How does that work?
Yeah. So when you turn 65 and if you decide that's the best time for you to get Medicare, and either you work for an employer that has very few employees, so less than 20, Medicare has to be primary. So you would need to apply for Medicare then. And you have 7 months to do that. So you have 3 months before your birthday month. So whether your birthday is, say, July the 2nd or July the 31st, the 1st of July is your birthday month and when you would start Medicare. So you would have 3 months before July to apply. Then you have your birthday month, and then you also have 3 months after. But if you delay, then your actually start date of Medicare gets put out 2 or 3 months later. So it's very good to be proactive and apply for Medicare in those 3 months before your birthday month.
Okay.
Okay, so of course there's an exception. If your birthday is July the 1st, then Medicare actually starts June the 1st.
Hmm.
So you have the 3 months before that.
Oh,
That's the only difference.
wow, interesting.
Hmm.
So, um, for everyone who's tuned in and has been listening to this and thinking about, either for themselves or for their parents, like I said, or aunt and uncle, close family friend or relative, what's one thing you really want our listeners to take away from this episode and this topic about Medicare?
Yeah, so Medicare can be confusing, but my class is called Medicare Made Clear, and I can help you navigate through it. I can bring clarity to your search. I can help you find the plan that is going to work the best for your budget, for your health needs, and your health goals. So, and it doesn't cost you anything to work with me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the best part. Boy, I hope everybody heard that one.
yeah. So
Your
just I have
service
to
is
disclose.
is yeah.
Oh, go ahead, sorry, Lynn.
No, no, no. I sort of interrupted
um,
you as well, but that was a big thing. It doesn't cost anything to work with you.
Yes. So I do need to disclose I get paid a commission from the insurance company that I would, enroll you in. So,
Yeah.
but as a broker, I work with 17 different companies, right? And I work in 10 states. So it doesn't cost anything for consultations or research.
Yeah. So all that mountains of junk mail that you're getting, you can just pitch. So
Exactly. Yes. And the
uh
phone calls that you get, click.
yeah, well, and that's surprising because you just said that people shouldn't be phoning you because I'm sure it's about protecting
Mhm.
seniors from scams. So they
Yes.
shouldn't be phoning you anyway. And
No,
I mean
they should not.
that's right there screams like look out. So
Mhm.
um and which I certainly appreciate because I know that my mom gets things that come in the mail and she doesn't know what they are and she's all concerned or worried and
Mhm.
it's almost always junk mail. And in fact, in our green room today, Joyce and I were talking because my mom had gotten a notice from the pharmaceutical part of the plan, and they're gonna not be using the pharmacy that is so close to her, which she didn't isn't acceptable,
Yeah.
and And so Joyce and I were already talking about, okay, well, we'll take care of this, right? As open
Yep.
enrollment comes up. So that's one of the great things is you have this resource that you can go to. So, I mean, for myself, it's been so amazing. So, Joyce, is there anything you wish that I had asked you that I haven't?
Mm. I guess when can you start enrolling, right?
Well,
Yeah.
when can you
So,
start enrolling?
so if you already have Medicare, right, then the time for open enrollment starts October 15th through December the 7th. So now is a good time to make an appointment with myself or a broker that you know so that you can get on their calendar because this is going to be a crazy year.
Yeah.
So get
And
started early.
And so that's when like you and I will get on an appointment so that we can adjust my mom's pharmacy plan or
Yes.
look at what else is going on. Just
Yeah.
a whole checkup, so to speak. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Joyce, thank you so much for sharing getting help
Mhm.
with Medicare, who qualifies and when to enroll. This really is a very important topic, and I'm so glad that you came. And I know that our listeners are going to want to know more about you and how they can connect with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. I love being here.
Well, and they can, I know that you have some free resources.
Mhm. Yes. So on my website, in the resources page, I have some ebooks that are fun to download and they are on different topics. So there's three of them and you get all three. So,
Okay, perfect. So I just dropped all of Joyce's links in the chat as we're live streaming, as we're recording this. So whether you listen to it live or watching this or you tune in after the fact, they will be in all of the post information. So that way you can make that happen. And I want to thank you again, Joyce, and thank you to all of our listeners. And for those of you on the live stream, sorry I wasn't adding I was just really engaged in this conversation and I wasn't adding things to the chat. Oh my goodness gracious. So thank you for your understanding and your grace for that. And again, Grace, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been such a pleasure.
yes, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay,